Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please hit the subscribe, now this start video. Fans of The Young and the Restless have witnessed the unraveling of Claire Newman, Haley Aaron in recent months, and it's become clear that the character is far more complex than she initially appeared. Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinel, in particular has grown increasingly unsettled by Claire's behavior. Claire's sudden shift toward manipulative and calculating tactics has been more than just a momentary lapse. It seems that the darkness within her might be here to stay. When Jordan and Colleen Zank made her return to Genoa City, it was like flipping a switch for Claire. The sweet and innocent image of the girl who had spent months talking about caterpillars with Harrison Abbott, Redding Munsell, quickly evaporated, revealing a far more sinister persona. This wasn't the same Claire who had once been Kyle Abbott's, Michael Mealer, hopeful, naive sweetheart. The sudden shift in Claire's behavior was disturbing, to say the least. Once she found herself tangled in Jordan's scheming web, Claire wasted no time reverting to her old tricks. This time, however, her target wasn't just anyone, it was Jordan herself. The ease with which Claire slipped back into this cold, calculating mindset left Victoria, and many viewers, deeply unsettled. Victoria's reaction to Claire's recent actions is understandable. After all, Claire had been through intense psychological treatment and had previously freed herself from Jordan's manipulative grasp. But the question now is whether Claire's past is truly behind her, or if her former habits are just waiting for the right moment to surface once again. One of the more alarming developments came when Claire suggested to Jordan that she could inherit a vast fortune, if, of course, something were to happen to Victoria. It was a sly and chilling proposition, one that seemed more like a manipulative ploy than an innocent fantasy. While Claire's words were part of a fake narrative designed to deceive Jordan, there's a darker undertone that suggests Claire might entertain such a thought for real one day. Victoria, already wary of Claire's intentions, can't help but feel a growing sense of paranoia. Could Claire really be plotting against her in some way, or is it just the aftermath of her own trauma and the manipulative environment she was raised in? While it may be too soon to call Claire a full-fledged villain, her suggestions certainly planted a seed of doubt in Victoria's mind. As the story unfolds, the audience is left wondering if Claire will spiral further into dangerous territory. Is her brief return to her darker side a sign of things to come, or will she pull back from the brink? Only time will tell what direction Y&R will take Claire's character. Claire's time in the psych ward and her efforts to break free from Jordan's grip were pivotal in her recovery. But as Y&R has shown, trauma often leaves a permanent mark. Claire's upbringing and the psychological scars from her past have clearly influenced her current state of mind, and that's something Victoria fears will never truly go away. As much as Claire might try to suppress her darker impulses, the trauma she experienced could resurface, causing her to regress into the more manipulative side of herself. It's likely that moving forward, fans will see Claire grappling with this internal conflict, the battle between her good side, the one that wants to heal and move on, and the bad side, which relishes the power of control and manipulation. Victoria's growing concern may not be misplaced. With Claire now aware of just how easily she can resort to dark tactics, it's clear that the potential for chaos is ever present. The question remains, can Claire keep her darker tendencies in check, or will they eventually consume her once again? The Young and the Restless may continue to explore this complicated evolution of Claire's character. The show has long been known for its intricate character developments, and Claire's journey is far from over. While she may not become a full-blown antagonist immediately, it's clear that her capacity for darkness is very much alive, and that could have serious implications for the Newman family in the future. Victoria's fears about Claire's potential to turn against her family seem to be valid. Claire may not be fully aware of how much danger she's capable of creating, but if she's pushed to the edge, there's no telling what lengths she might go to. The coming weeks on Y&R may bring more twists and turns to Claire's story, and viewers should expect the tension between her and Victoria to heighten. As Claire struggles to contain her more sinister instincts, will she ultimately find peace, or will her darker nature take control? As Claire's dark side continues to emerge, the stakes for those around her grow ever higher. While she may not yet be a full-fledged antagonist, The unsettling glimpse into her capacity for manipulation and violence raises questions about what the future holds. Could Claire ultimately betray the people closest to her, including her family, or will she find a way to rein in the darker urges that seem to resurface when she feels cornered or threatened? Victoria, understandably, remains on edge, knowing that Claire is capable of much more than she's willing to admit. As a mother, Victoria's protective instincts are activated, and she will no doubt be more vigilant than ever, watching for any signs that Claire may be heading down a dangerous path. With Claire's recent actions, it's clear that Victoria's suspicions have been validated. The young woman she thought she knew is not the same person anymore. What's even more troubling is that Claire's internal battle between her good self and her more sinister inclinations could have lasting consequences. If Claire does indeed begin to struggle with reconciling these two sides of herself, her emotional turmoil could cause her to make unpredictable choices that leave everyone around her in jeopardy. Whether it's a conflict with the Newman family or her own internal demons pushing her toward further instability, there is no clear resolution in sight. It's also important to consider how Claire's past influences her present choices. Her history with Jordan was tumultuous, and even though she managed to break free from Jordan's grip, the emotional scars remain. Claire's experiences, her upbringing, her manipulation by Jordan, and the psychological trauma she endured could ultimately be too much for her to overcome on her own. She may want to distance herself from her past, but the darkness that shaped her is still deeply ingrained within her. The idea that she could slide back into old habits and turn on those who care about her is becoming all too real. Victoria's fears also extend to the impact Claire's choices might have on the Newman family as a whole. If Claire's erratic behavior continues, it could ripple through the entire family, putting relationships and business interests at risk. The Newmans are no strangers to betrayal and familial tension, but if Claire truly goes down a destructive path, the consequences could be far-reaching. There could be a fallout that shakes the very foundation of the Newman empire. The looming question remains, is there a way for Claire to truly change, or is her darker nature an inescapable part of who she is? She may have been able to convince herself that she's in control, but it's becoming increasingly evident that the darker impulses she harbors could resurface at any time, especially if pushed by external forces. Even as she wants to leave her past behind, Claire's descent into manipulation and deceit may be inevitable, especially as she feels cornered or misunderstood. For now, Victoria will be doing everything she can to keep a close eye on Claire, but her concerns may ultimately lead to a rift between them. The delicate balance of mother-daughter relationships could very well be tested, and the question of whether Claire can find a path back to redemption remains unanswered. As The Young and the Restless continues to explore this storyline, the emotional and psychological stakes will continue to rise, making it one of the most intriguing plotlines of the current season. In the coming weeks, expect more twists and turns in Claire's journey, as the show dives deeper into her internal conflict and the impact of her actions on those around her. Whether Claire can overcome her darker tendencies or be consumed by them is something that remains to be seen. But one thing is for sure, the drama surrounding her will continue to captivate viewers, leaving everyone wondering just how far Claire is willing to go and what the future holds for her. While Claire may attempt to bury the troubling thoughts and actions she's recently exhibited, the consequences of her involvement in Jordan's demise, however indirect, could continue to haunt her. After all, Claire was the one who put the overdose of sleeping pills in the poisoned tea that led to Jordan's fate. Even though Jordan made the choice to drink it, Claire played a pivotal role in setting the tragic sequence of events into motion. Could the weight of this guilt push Claire to a breaking point? Will she embrace the darkness within her or fight to maintain control of her life and relationships? Only time will reveal whether Claire can overcome the darkness that's resurfaced within her, or if it will ultimately lead her down a much darker path.